My dad gave me some cherry wood from his backyard, and eventually I found a guy who slabbed it up for me. And as I was leaving, the guy gave me some maple to practice with. A little while later, a family member asked if I could make them some corner shelves for their kitchen, so I have practice wood, a practice project, and I need experience, so I'm game. Here I'm making a template that I can use to mark my lines on the maple, and this is the maple. It's gonna be gorgeous. I don't know if you can tell right now. But it is fiddleback maple. So I grab a pen and mark some lines to cut it up. Now most of the maple got kind of warped, so I had to use a circular saw to cut it. And it really tore out pretty bad when I tried to use a hand plane. So I just used my belt sander and my palm sander and a lot of time. Not all of the cherry was big enough to be slabbed, so I used some of the smaller pieces for this project. I turned this piece of firewood basically into corner support brackets. Now my little handsaw was not powerful enough, so I had to rethink my plan. Turns out the chainsaw delivers a little bit more power, and it was a little bit faster than using the handsaw. Cut it up, straight lines, straight lines, straight lines. Flip it over, reattach the support braces, and finish it off. Now we're ready to make some support braces, but chainsaw leaves a lot of rough edges, and I smoothed out just enough to shove this thing through the table saw. I really need a bandsaw, but this'll work for now. I'm cutting it into 2x2s, and then those will get cut down into like an L-shaped wall bracket, and that'll let the corner shelf sit flush with the trim on the window in the kitchen. If that doesn't make sense, just watch to the end of the video. So I got about 8 of these pieces and took the bark off, and then planed them down, just trying to make it a little easier to line them up straight on the saws. This one had a termite, and I cut one piece off at a time until eventually it didn't have a termite anymore. Hopefully. Before I took all this wood in the house to dry, I coated the ends with shellac to reduce the amount of water that came out through the ends and hopefully keep everything from splitting. When it was all dried out, I went ahead and made my final cuts. Here I'm cutting out a channel for the shelves to sit in. And now I have to clean up the mess that the table saw left. It's really not that hard. You just have to spend what seems like an eternity cleaning off all the little bits and pieces with a chisel. And cut the shellac off the ends so that the tung oil can seep in. Sanding is required in nearly every step of this operation. Here I am pre-drilling the holes for the shelf support pieces. I don't want it to split on me when I install it. I decided to use tung oil and then shellac as the finish. I really liked the way the tung oil turned out on the cherry. But what turned out even better was the maple. This is what happens when you put tung oil on a piece of fiddleback maple. magic. The installation is fairly simple, just following one of Matthias Wandel's videos about corner shelves and how to install them. Link in the description. These things could probably hold my weight, but I'm not going to test that. Some screws to secure the shelves to the brackets permanently. And there we go. That's the end of that project. This is all scrap wood. Until next time, I want you to remember, keep your head in the clouds and your butt off the couch. Thanks for watching.